So you found yourself in the middle of a forest, and you're lost. There's no food, there's no shelter, and a bloodthirsty predator is lurking around every corner. It doesn't matter if it's 1719, 1987, or 2018, having a predator hot on your trail is very bad news. But is there a way you can survive it? In this video, we'll give you all the tools you maybe need to escape from the Yautja. Let's begin. First, stay low key. Now, you could go to the gym, lift more weight than Thor Bjornsson, and have the endurance of Zach Bitter, but you're still not going to beat the predator. They're unbelievably skilled, strong, and technologically advanced. If a jacked Carl Weathers couldn't defeat one of these things, what are the chances that any of us have? The odds are stacked against anyone who goes toe-to-toe with one of these. But that doesn't mean you can't walk away from the situation with your head still attached to your body. And if you had no other choice and absolutely had to take a predator on, then we've got a strategy for you. But first, it's wise to keep a low profile. Try as long as you can to stay in the shadows. Based off the stuff we've seen so far in the series, the predators crave a good challenge. They're all about the survival of the fittest, and they're attracted to those who stand out in a conflict. Now, imagine you're riding a camp of guerrilla fighters in Central America in 1987, and you impale a guy with a machete and ask him to stick around. The predator's going to be really impressed with you, and he'll want to take you on himself, and you really don't want to do that. We hope you've kept your Boy Scout handbook from 8th grade because you're going to need it to survive, and you can't stay in one place either. Keep moving, don't stop to make s'mores, and try not to grab the predator's attention by being a Next, show your vulnerable side. And no, we don't mean having a counseling session with it. Opening up to a predator about your insecurities and need for validation won't stop it from neatly separating your spine from the rest of your body. What's more, it'll be disappointed that you didn't put up a good fight, but there are many ways to convey vulnerability without opening up to someone. For example, in Predator 2, it spares Leona Cantrell's life after all its infrared sensors detect that she's pregnant. From its point of view, it wouldn't be survival of the fittest if it kills someone with a baby on the way. The predators aren't just violent creatures with an urge to murder everyone, you know? They've got a certain code of honor, and they won't kill you if they know you're in a vulnerable state. But what if you aren't pregnant? Look, we get that was a bad example, but hear us out. Obviously, no one can predict a predator attack, so the chances of you having a bun in the oven while lost in a forest are relatively low. But you're not going to just show your belly and give up, right? Actually, that's exactly what you'll do. If you find yourself facing the predator, just get into your birthday suit. There's even precedent for this tactic in 2018's The Predator. Casey Brackett finds herself naked and unarmed in a decontamination area, and then it shows up. But it spares her life, understanding that it'd be a pretty lousy way to kill someone when they're not ready for it. So the answer is nudity, and hoping to God that the predator feels awkward and walks away. Next, just don't try to be a hero. That's how a lot of people in a horror movie die. It's a recurring trope where a character buys time for everyone else and takes on the predator alone. There's heroism, and then there's sheer stupidity. It's a tradition that began in the first movie, when Billy threw away his guns and put a machete into his own chest, and then it continued with Hanzo and Predators, Coyle and Baxley in The Predator. It's a selfless act, and we commend the characters for it, but sadly, they're side characters, and you need plot armor. On the real world equivalent of plot armor, and that is to practice self-preservation. If you're in a group, try not to be the one who sacrifices themselves for the other. Your job is to beat the predator, and there's no harm in doing so by saving your own neck. Up next, use its tech against it. Let's face it, you can't run from it forever. Eventually, it's going to find you behind a tree, trying to catch your breath, and being naked won't help you forever either. Plus, if it catches you off guard, then you can't spend the precious few seconds you've getting undressed. One way to beat the predator is by using its own tech against it. Throughout the movies, we've seen that their knowledge and technology beats anything we have on Earth, so why not use their greatest strength against them? Sure, you could go to Dutch's route and use the surroundings to beat it, but he's a seasoned warrior and he's got plot armor. But the other protagonist did things differently. In Predator 2, Mike Harrigan killed the predator with one of its own throwing discs, and in 2018's The Predator, Quinn McKenna used the explosive spear from the creature's severed arm to beat it. But what if you're surrounded by many predators? Beating one tough son of a gun is one thing, but a bunch of them? We're sorry for anyone who goes up against that army. But let's say you do, and you got one chance to make it out alive. Well, you do what Harrigan did in Predator 2. Don't be a hero and challenge one single predator for a no-holds-barred match. Then use its technology against it and kill it. We suggest learning some grappling, tai chi, and wrestling so you can use its strength against it too. Once you've defeated it, you'll have earned the other's respect. Harrigan got the same response when the other predators picked up their fallen warrior and walked away. He even got a flintlock pistol for his troubles. Or you could do what Naru did and pray. Now, we've been talking about it as if you're alone in your fight against the alien species, but what if you had some help from a bunch of friends and only had to deal with one pesky alien? Well, first things first, create your own language. Prey is a fantastic prequel to the original movie, and Naru's a certified Amber, mid-hunter, and the rest of the cast had to go through an intense 4-week training course, and it was mostly focused on weapons training, including Comanche archery, spears, and knives. They wanted to be as accurate as possible when portraying the Comanche culture. Now, one part of the training included learning a hybrid sign language that was made just for the movie. Mid-Thunder said that the cast used real Comanche sign language in the movie and developed a few of their own signs too. Not only did that add a lot of authenticity to the movie, it also taught us that communication doesn't need words. So if you're being hunted by the predator, try to come up with rudimentary sign language with your friends and use that as a means of communicating whenever possible. Try adding more signs to include complex sentences such as, "Hey, I don't want my spine separated from my body," or something similar, but you get the idea. Next, lure the predator away by whistling. Near the end of Prey, Naru traps a French colonist and uses him as bait to lure the predator in. But it's not just going to walk into a trap like that. The species is smarter than you think. So, in a spectacular cultural Easter egg, Naru whistles at the predator and it walks over to find the source of the sound. Quick side note, there's a reason why it's a cultural Easter egg. In Comanche tradition, it's forbidden to whistle at night. Doing so means that you're calling to the spirits. It's pretty symbolic, making the predator a spirit that comes when Naru whistles. Finally, get to the freaking chopper. When all is said and done, Dutch had the right idea when he said the iconic line back in 1987. If nothing works and all your friends have somehow lost their spinal columns, then your best bet is to run and hide until you find a helicopter. It doesn't matter if there's no pilot on board. You've got Google on your phone, and we hope you have tons of data because you're gonna need a lot of YouTube videos to learn how to fly the thing. Has Rob Kenny made a "Dad, how do I do" video on it yet? Anyway, the movies have shown us that chopper's always nearby when you want to save yourself from the predator. It can't fly, so your best bet is to do exactly that. Whether it's Dutch or the folks from Predator 2, a helicopter in the middle of war-torn America is what you're gonna need. And if all else fails and you don't have access to one, then we recommend getting naked again. If it worked once, maybe it'll work twice. And that's a wrap for this video. Thanks for watching. So you know our game plan on how to beat the predator, but what's yours? Tell us in the comments down below. And as always, be sure to give a huge thumbs up and subscribe to our channel so you never miss out on more awesome content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.